Hey peoples, this is another movie review of League of Legends Origins. As always, I want to say thank you for listening, that really means a lot to me, and on to the review. So League of Legends Origins is a documentary on Netflix. It's where fans, experts, and creators of the League of Legends talk about the game's origin all the way to dominating and spreading around the world. And that's the movie. So this movie is really good, but it's really good because I think it does what the creators of League of Legends does, which is it focuses on the fans. Yes, it does talk about League of Legends and the start of it, the highs and lows and how big it got. But I think the best part about this documentary is that it focuses on the fans, how it touched the fans, how it changed their lives, how it connected to other fans, and how it just reached people in general. So I went to school for game design. I didn't last because I just couldn't get coding down, but I understand how big games are. I didn't understand how big League of Legends was. That was a separate world for me. I, for the most part, stuck to simple one-on-one fighting games like your Tekkens or your Soul Calibur, stuff like that, or sports like basketball, football, and racing games, stuff like that. And I didn't do online playing, mostly because in my childhood, I didn't have the internet like that. So I didn't know how big League of Legends was, but I understand how big gaming is, so I could connect to this world. But my favorite part about the documentary is that it tries to connect with people who are outside of this world and explain to them that they aren't so different. From the beginning, they use sports as a connection. They explain how the game is similar to basketball in order to relate to the outside fan. But also they talk about how they are sports fans as well. There for some reason seems to be this myth that sports fans and gaming fans are completely separate people. Of course, I'm excluding these sports games like your Maddens and your NBA Lives and stuff like that, but other games similar to League of Legends. But one of the creators of the game actually played football, and I like that they mentioned that part in the documentary because it's so important. It seems like a small thing, but it bridges that gap between thinking that that group of people is separate from this group of people. And that's what the documentary focuses on, is connecting with people. This game spans across the globe. It brings people together. It takes individuals who the outside world might see as introverted and reveals that no, that's not the case. I could be in my home, I live in Atlanta, and I could connect with someone all the way over in Japan. That is incredible. I can't necessarily do that by watching my favorite sports team that's here in my home state. But the video game helps me do that. I can connect to multiple people around the world and possibly one day meet them. And it helps me create connections and friends that I wouldn't have had if I was just focused on the area that I was in. Games like League of Legends lets you go past that. So that's what makes the documentary so great. My favorite thing about the documentary is that it shows the pros and cons of this world. It shows that yes, it does connect people, but also people that reach popularity in this world have to grow up very quickly because now you're a representative, now people look up to you, now you have fans, and you probably have to act completely different if you were just a random kid playing your games at home. It completely alters their life, and you can see how that takes a toll on individuals, and that part is fascinating. I also like the fact that they do talk about the negative side of gaming, like people insulting people online, and that there are no consequences for the most part because you can't find these people, and people are more brave online because they aren't talking to these people face to face. And they show how the creators were trying to combat that and fix that problem because everyone wants a positive game and no one likes the negativity within the game. And I really enjoyed how they showed someone who was a negative person and looking at him now and how much he has changed, because that's a part of life. You are crappy, then you learn to be good, and now you're a good person and you're nice to people. It was a small section in the movie, but I will always enjoy watching someone evolve into a better person. That's just one of my favorite parts of life. The whole side thing about esports and is it actual sports is always fascinating to me because it's people giving a definition of something that they have no control over. A sport is a group of people coming and competing against each other, and that can be in a vast array of things, and for some reason people just don't get that. So my stance on it, yes, it is a sport. It takes one goal and you have one objective, and that is to win, and you have to work together in order to accomplish that. And that's the foundation of every sport. It's competition and dominating. That's what it is. And what makes it even funnier to me is that this is on a global scale. Your major levels of basketball, football, baseball, and thousands of other sports is mainly based in the US. Gaming is around the world. It is one of the biggest kingdoms, period. And to have the mentality of, oh, that's not a sport, that's below us, it's hilarious to me because it does things better than physical sports. It brings a lot more people together, and also it makes a lot more money. But overall, I really enjoyed this film. If I had to pick out any negatives, I will say that we don't get really a deep dive into the origin of everything because this movie has a certain pace and is trying to cover a lot of ground, and you don't get the nitty-gritty of everything, but you get the overall story, which is fine, but I wouldn't have mind a little bit more. Also, this movie is on a certain pace, which is nice, but it doesn't take moments to breathe. All the information is on a nice constant flow, and it helps the movie move along, and there are no lull moments, which I really liked. But during impactful or big moments or big information that they are giving you, it doesn't give you a moment to process it. They just keep talking and keep giving you information and it rolls on. So I wish they would have took a moment to breathe every once in a while. Other than that, everything else is great. I particularly want to give a shout out to Guns because they showed that. That was my game. I love that game. So much fun. Also, I thought it was funny that during one of their live events when stuff crashed and everything broke down, that one of the creators had to come out and talk to the audience, and then he offered the audience some gifts and stuff like that, and then they cheered like, yeah, you're the best. And he was like, oh, it was so great that they were so forgiving. And I was thinking like, no, they just got a bunch of free stuff. Like they're about to get swag, they got $25 in points for the game, and then they're getting a refund on their ticket. I'm just saying I cheer too. I'd hope the game fails every single time I go out because I would want free stuff. So I thought it was funny that he was like, oh, they were so forgiving. That just made me laugh. But anyway, I do suggest watching this because the best part about this game is that it's people connecting with other people. And that's what we need more of. And I really love that aspect of it. And that's all, peoples. Thank you for listening. Please like, thumbs up, subscribe, retweet, comment, all those things. I really appreciate it. Please continue to have a great day. God bless. I'll talk to you tomorrow.